Well, hello viewers, it's Peter Elgar, the funny old photographer from Brentwood, Essex, England, and this time I'm going to talk about a flash I've been given in the CANON SPEEDLITE range, and it is connecting to my EOS film cameras here. We're going to talk about how it works, and I'll show you some pictures with it. It's this one. It was bought at a car boot sale for £3, so it's all a bit worn. That's the number. It's the SPEEDLITE 540EZ or EZ. If you're American, excuse my throat. And it's one of a series. Now, if you go to Mr. Butker's site, I'll give you the link down below, you can find all the details of his CANON SPEEDLITEs. So we'll take the cameras out of the way for a minute, and then we'll see what we can discover. Wonderful machine. Because it's an all singing, all dancing thing. Well, you've got to have some batteries for it. And here we are. We fit the batteries in here. It takes 4 AA type batteries. Now they are, the one I've got here are non-rechargeable, all these cheap ones. But they still work at the moment. So you put them in there, watching the plus and the minus. And here we have a light which comes on in the dark, and that will assist the focusing. And here we have a little beam here which measures the light from your subject, reflecting back. Here we have how you can adjust the angle of your flash. It's like that. And then you can go down one more when it's in its totally down position. A little warning comes on the back, so we'll switch it on. And it goes zzz. Now on the on position you've got I for on, and SE, that's saving. That is energy saving, which means if you forget, the unit will switch itself off to save your battery. So while I'm yakking on about it, we'll leave it on that saving. Now when we put the zoom, this here head down to its smallest, there should be a little thing come up here. In there, there's a little icon which tells you that I've pushed it downwards. So that is to illuminate subject which are a bit close. Normal position is here. You can press this and you can twist it. A bounce flash. Let's see if I can do that. Now that's up. Oh, I mean, press this one here. Then you twist it around like that. Bounce for flash off the side. You've probably all done bounce flash, so we won't go into that. The main thing is, what are all these wonderful numbers and how do they work? Well, in order to show you, I've got to watch the light on the control panel. When you switch it on, you get through the lens, that's TTL, and you've got M manual zoom, that's 70mm is the lens. Now, you can change the zoom to automatic by pressing the one marked zoom, and then it presses one at a time. It changes. There we are. Now it's on automatic zoom. The focal length won't come up because it's not attached to the camera. I'll tell you what. How about I attach it to a camera, and then you can see it. The controls a bit better. So we'll stick it on this EOS 1000FN. I've been using a lens I found, I was given 35 to 70 to try it out. It had no lens cap, but it seems to be quite sharp. So now we're onto the camera, switch it back on again. We switch the camera on, and we'll see what it says. We're at 28 to 70, not the 35 to 70. We've got the 70 to... Right, now we zoom out, we put the lens on the 28 and see if it comes up. Yes, it says 24 there. As I change the focal length of your lens, that should change as well. There we are. So that's good. Now the mode business means you've got through the lens flashing, which means the camera will set the flash to its ISO that you've set in the camera. There's no ISO setting on the flash. It's controlled by the camera. So you set the ISO of your film in the camera and the flash knows by all the connections. It will automatically give you a correct exposure with through the lens flashing, and it will also set the maximum sync speed, which on this camera is 1/90th. Now if you want to do another mode, you press that and you get manual mode. Then you've got a load of powers here. That is set to 1/16th power, and you can press this little button. It should fire one of these. My fingernails are. You press the button, it should fire the flash. There we are. It's 1/16th power. Very weak. If you want to go up, you press plus, and it will go up. It will go up more powerful. Here, 1/8 power, quarter power, half power. 1/1 is full power. So that's full power flash now. We'll press that again. Yeah, that's a full power flash. That's manual flash mode, which means it's on. You have to control the exposure by the guide number or by experience, or you can cut down the power of a fill-in flash. Another way to do it is to put it onto. We put the camera to we put it onto. Take time values here, and I think we get an ATTL business. No, not on one of these settings you get something I come up which says ATTL. Well, why can't I find that? AB, it says ATTL, no manual, multi-flash. Well, that's funny. That is TTL flash all the time. Well, there's another mode called multi. There we are. That will flash loads and loads of times according to how many hertz you set it to. This is for weird effects. There we are. That's only one flash. Now if we want it to go to loads and loads of flashes, I think you set it as a flash. 2 hertz, 3 hertz. 3, select it. I'll press this here. Then it goes 3 times. Look, see? Now in order to use this multi-flash business, you have to have the camera set to a slow shutter speed in order to catch it all. So we'll see if we can show you how I found out how to work. So there's no film in here. So we can open the back of the camera. We can put it to a manual shutter speed, and we turn the shutter speed down to say a couple of seconds here. 2 seconds. Now we'll flash it, and you'll see the flash come through the shutter speed, come through the curtain at the back as it goes off. No. Put the lens to manual because it won't flash. See if it flashes. Yes. Here we are. Look, as the shutter opens, we get loads of flashes all onto the film at the same time. Here it goes. See, as it's flashing, you get loads of. You've got to have it on a slow speed. There. Then you can capture all sorts of weird effects, and you've got to do it in a darkened room to use that feature. What I have used is the is the manual mode, and I've cut this down to a low setting. So we'll select, and we'll select minus. I've put it on, say, 1/8 power, and select it like that. And then that gives you 1/8 power for filling flash when you don't want it very powerful. So we can put it up to a faster speed, say the 90th. Here we are. That is 1/8 power now. 1/8 power, and it's quite weak, and it will give you a nice filling flash. You can also do it with automatic through the lens flashing here. Select. By pressing select, you've got a little device in here which was plus and minus, so you want less, so press that. Then you've got 1/3 power with through the lens flashing. You can control your fill-in flash on the TTL setting as well, which I have used. There we are. So you can control it by setting it manually, and you can weaken the flash here as well. You can weaken it down to, press select again, select minus 2/3, minus 2/3 of stop, minus 1 stop less. That will give you 1 stop underexposed with the TTL through lens flashing. This is quite a good flash, but the only thing it doesn't do high speed sync. And that is one that I had to borrow to do high speed sync, where your shutter speed is higher than the one which is allowed. So on my two cameras, the maximum speed I can set is 1/90th of a second. If I set 1/1000th of a second, I don't get the whole of the flash, because this flash is not suitable for the high speed synchronization. That you've got to have another model, and hence probably more expensive one than this. It wasn't bad for £3. Now we'll switch this off. For off there. I'll show you a couple of pictures using this flash for filling work. There's a couple here. My son and daughter at a barbecue, surrounded by dark trees, and I set it to manual exposure, and I had set it to, I think it was like 1/4 power. So we had daylight coming through, and you had the flash this way off the camera, illuminated it, and it balanced with the daylight, and it filled in the shadows, because underneath here, all dark woodwork and stuff, it would have been deep shadow. The flash has illuminated that, but it's not overdone it. And when I went to the Howlett Zoo, there was a monkey in a glass enclosure looking very unhappy. So I tried this monkey with a full power through the lens flashing with the 75 to 300mm lens. And I put the flash and lens right against the glass, and this is what I got. Well exposed. He's absolutely black, but there's detail in all his fur. The face and his eyes have got catch lights in them, and you can see the food that he's looking at. This poor monkey, and in his glass enclosure, it's through glass, and there's no reflection, and that flash, that big powerful flash, has got into that, and it was about, wasn't that 300, it was probably about 200mm the focal length of that lens, and it is perfectly exposed, that difficult exposure of a black monkey with a fairly light surrounds. I thought that came out quite well. So at the moment I'm still experimenting with this 540EZ, bit worn out flash from somebody else, but it still works, as you've seen. And if you want to find the details of all the Canon speed lights, go to Mr. Bootkus site, and I'll give you the link down below. So those of you who are kind enough to support my channel expenses on chemicals when I show you prints and stuff, I'll also put my buy me a coffee link down below, which actually buys me film and chemicals. I don't actually get a coffee with it. But so far, thank you very much for watching this rather garbled video, because I'm no Canon expert or no Speedlite expert, but at least I have a go with all this wonderful gear that I get given, and I get some results. So thanks for watching this one. See you again. Bye bye for now.